I'm super excited to share this video with you guys. It's how to create a perfect tactic in FM23. We are using a 3-4-1-2, so it's not the go-to formation. Throughout the year, we will be making perfect tactics with different formations. This one, it isn't the go-to tactic, the 3-4-1-2, but also the instructions. We aren't high pressing, we aren't gegging pressing, we're not even playing positively. Actually, we're aiming to frustrate the AI, but still win. We're still looking to win. So in this video, I am going to break down the strengths of this tactic, how it's used in Football Manager, how I created it, look at the results, also play a game to see how the tactic plays out. It's here to help you guys to be able to create your own perfect tactic in Football Manager, or you could just download this one. No biggie, but for now, let's get stuck into the video. To start with, we are briefly just going to look at the results quickly. I use Tottenham Hotspur, a team that is familiar with using three at the back, not necessarily the exact same formation, but it's a team that is good enough to play three at the back. They've got the players and personnel for it. Looking at how we fared in the competitions in the Premier League, we came second. We won, well, we played 38, we won 26 out of the 38, only one less than Liverpool, and we finished 4 points behind them as well. The 6 games that we lost, all 6 away from home, and the 6 that we drawn, 4 of them away from home, 2 at home. In the Champions League, we got knocked out in the round of 16 against Bayern Munich. Very difficult round. When it comes to the case, when we're looking at cases and how the tactic plays out, we will be showing some games where we beat Bayern Munich actually. In the Emirates FA Cup, we got Swansea to play, which will be played at the end of the video, and the Carabao Cup, we were the winners. So we can end this video being double winners, albeit we didn't win the league, but the FA Cup and Carabao Cup is good enough for Spurs. In the next season, we can bring in new players, really develop this team, and well, hopefully get better results in the second season. Looking at some of these stats, it will make sense once we break down the tactic, why we're not shining in certain places, where in certain other areas we're doing really well. So looking at the most goals scored, we come in 4th with 72. Most shots for, we come in 5th. Fewest shots against, we come in 4th. Best pass completion, not in the top 8, and for the average possession as well, we are not heavy possession based. Actually, we're allowing the AI to have most of the possession. Tackles won, we come in 8th place. Dribbles made, not in the top 8. Clean sheets though, we come in 2nd, and for the fewest conceded, we conceded the fewest with 23, so we defended really well. One key about this tactic is the conversion rate, how clinical we are in front of goal. So like you just saw, we didn't have the most shots for, neither was it at a very high number, but in fact we were very clinical in front of goal, which is needed for a mid-block tactic. If we're not going to create many chances, we do need to bury the chances that we do create. Also, what you would need is high teamwork and work rate. As you can see here, high intensity sprints. Tottenham topped this list, and we had some very hard workers in our team trying to win the ball back, because again, we do not have most of the possession in the game. Actually, we're operating in a mid block, allowing the AI to build up from defense, so then we can just stop them in their tracks in the middle third and then go on attack ourselves. So just think about it, we sitting back, allowing them to put pressure on us, win the ball, then we break, which is why you need to have high teamwork, high work rate, but also some good finishes, so you then convert those chances that you create. So now looking at some squad stats very briefly, Harry Kane scored the most goals with 31 goals. He also got 9 assists. Heung-min Son got 19 goals. Dejan Kulusevski got 14. Richarlison got 13. The players with the most assists, we've got about 4 on 9 assists actually. Heung-min Son, Eric Dyer, who was a wide centre-back, Harry Kane, Emerson Royale, all on 9, Højbjerg on 8, Kulusevski on 7, Basuma on 7 as well, surprisingly. We even got Brian Hill with 6 assists and 5 goals in 18 starts. So that there is the player stats and the results that we got with Tottenham Hotspur. Now what we are going to do is break down a 3-4-1-2 and break down ours. We're going to analyze it. We will analyze our own tactic. So what we're looking at is how this team builds up and my ideas of how I want my team to build up in this 3-4-1-2 tactic. The use of wider centre-back allows to progress the ball in the half spaces and also offer good passing angles when playing out from the back. The wing-backs offer constant width during the build-up play, making the pitch wide as possible. As you would notice, we don't have wingers, so actually the wing-backs will kind of have to operate as wing-backs/wingers for the side. With 2 centre-backs and a double pivot, this allows for constant numerical advantage advantage over the opposition's first line of defense. Most teams are going to line up with one striker, at most two, so naturally with the three at the back, you're always going to gain that numerical advantage. And then we've got our two double pivots as well, or we've got the double pivot, and this just allows us to have that numerical advantage when we are attempting to build up. We're always going to have an extra man over the opponent. The use of a ball playing goalkeeper allows to create a natural diamond with the three central defenders. So now when we are building up again, it's all about having that numerical advantage. When the goalkeeper has the ball, I want the two wider centre backs to stretch, and then we're going to have the middle centre back as the top of the diamond, and then we have our four players. With the goalkeeper, I don't necessarily want him just to hoof the ball constantly. Again, we're not necessarily a heaven possession based side, but with the goalkeeper, he still has a responsibility to play the ball with the centre backs and not just needlessly hoof the ball forward. Though hoofing the ball will be kind of key. We'll move on to that. We will move on to that. The attackers can stay high and occupy the opponent's defensive line, allowing for more direct distribution. The attacking midfielder and one central midfielder are able to press and pick up the second ball. So sometimes actually playing short might not be on. So when the goalkeeper wants to kick the ball long, we still have our three attackers up there. We have the two strikers occupying the two central defenders, and then we have that attacking midfielder. If we kick the ball long and we lose the first ball, we will be counter pressing to try and win the second ball, and then we have the double pivot, the attacking midfielder in midfield picking up any loose balls after the long kick. So that was the build up play. Now we're moving on to the middle third, how we want to progress the ball when we're getting into that final third. The use of overlaps, wing backs overlaps to midfield or forward positioned wide. For an example, the right wing back will overlap the right sided defensive midfielder or the right sided striker, who will in our tactic be dropping deep. The wider centre backs also looking to make overlapping runs, more so the right sided centre back in the Football Manager tactic, because he is going to be a wide centre back on attack. The playmaker in the double pivot looks to remain central so he can connect the build up to the middle third. He can now create the diamond. Previously we spoke about the diamond being the goalkeeper and the three centre backs. Now moving into the middle third, it can be the three centre backs and then the DM on top of that diamond. The wide centre backs always offering a passing option deep in the half space to help with the ball progression. So when we are moving the ball forward, we're still going to have those wider centre backs in that half space, and just allows, well, it just creates better passing angles and it allows us to progress, or even if we need to recycle the possession as well. One of the pivot and central forward moving into the more advanced areas of the half spaces to receive. So the wider centre backs will be in the deeper half space areas, but then we're going to have a central forward and one of the double pivots moving forward into that half space. The left sided DM advances whilst the right sided striker drops into that half space. The attackers, an attacking midfielder and one of the strikers will look to receive the ball in between the lines. So that's kind of the idea. Now we can move over to the player notes and the player's responsibility and their roles. The wider centre back constantly operating in the half spaces, always being a passing option that we spoke about. The wing backs always stretching the pitch and staying wide regardless of the player. I want the wing backs stretching the pitch all the time because we don't have any wingers. The left-sided defensive midfielder and the right forward often drifting wide for combinations, so the wing backs are not isolated out on the flanks. The left-sided defensive midfielder will progress with the ball from deeper areas to connect defense and midfield. The right-sided pivot player will recycle the ball or switch plays. So we're going to have one trying to progress the ball, carrying the ball, and then the other just holding his position and dictating the play. The left wing back has more creative freedom than the right wing back, and our left defensive midfielder will look to cover the left wing back. So we're not actually looking to have one more reserved, or one completely reserved and the other one fully attacking. We want both to be attacking, but one just has more attacking responsibility and less defensive responsibilities. The central defender, he's ball playing, he's confident on the ball and can progress with a carry or pass. And lastly, the number 10 had little responsibilities during the build-up phase and the middle third phase. Actually, he always looked to progress and make runs off one of the forwards dropping to link. So that's how we're trying to confuse defenders. We're going to have one striker dropping deep and then having the attacking midfielder run forward. A lot of the times you would think that a number 10 is going to be playmaker-ish. He's going to receive the ball in between the lines and look to create, but ours is actually looking to attack the box and get into the box, and we're using the striker as a creator. Lastly, the final third, how we look to break teams down and create our chances. We're looking to hit early crosses and have bodies in the box. Both centre forwards, attacking midfielder and either wing back, depending on who's crossing, will attack the far post. So let's say The right wing back is bombing forward and attacking. I want both strikers. I want an attacking midfielder to be inside the box, but also the left wing back attacking the far post. And then on the edge of the box, we can have either of the double pivots or both of the double pivots as the rest defense trying to collect the ball or any second balls. The wing backs are frequent crossers, not afraid to engage in 1v1 drills, trying to beat the man and then put it in the cross. One striker always attacking a channel, forces defenders to drop deep and defend narrow. So when this happens, just imagine a defense line pushing back, but also defending narrow, because we're having a striker constantly running the channels. What that's going to do is then leave space out on the flanks for our wing backs. But also, if the defense liner is dropping, then it allows an attacker to operate in that zone 14 area, and then we can be dangerous in that sort of area. The number 10 is being used as a second striker, often making runs inside the box and off a dropping forward, or running off a dropping forward. I'm also encouraging the team to be direct towards goal. I don't mind long shots, but not necessarily working the ball into the box. And I don't mind dribbling. I don't mind individual brilliance. A player trying to take on another player to bring our team forward and closer to the opponent's goal. So that there was a breakdown of what I want my team to achieve in Football Manager, how I want them to play. And now what we are going to do is kind of a case study. We're going to look at some games and we're going to see how the team played in Football Manager. Did they listen to me or not? We shall see. So I have to use the media player because what I've done is in my Discord actually. So if I go to the Discord, as you can see here, I'm sharing clips. So I'm playing the game, sharing the clips at the same time. So I've obviously saved some of these clips from what I've done in the game, and then we're just going to analyze what I've saved and what I wanted for you guys to see basically. So this clip here is called the build up. Wide centre back progresses and Kulusevski runs and an assist goal as well. Some of it's a bit gibberish. It doesn't really make sense. It just allows me to know what's happening. So here is Romero on the ball. We're going to build up from the back, obviously. Basuma's on the ball, plays it to Højbjerg. He plays it out wide to Davies, a player that is in that half space, always operating in that half space. Kulusevski gets in behind, making that run, and then Kane just slots in the ball. This clip here is labeled counter press, Kane and Kulusevski swapping position and Kane getting an assist. So this one should be really intriguing. Here we're winning the ball, we've won the ball, and we're going to go on a little break. Kane plays it into Son. Son plays it out wide to Perisic. Perisic holding his width, absolutely needed, driving towards his man as well. Basuma tries to play that through ball. We lose the ball, but the counter press allows us to win the ball back straight away. The ball back is played to Romero. Kane dropping deep. So here, there we are. We have Kane dropping deep and we have Kulusevski basically swapping positions. That is exactly what I want. I want my deep line forward to drop deep, and then I want my attacking midfielder to break through, making runs off him, and that is exactly what happens here. Basuma gets the ball, plays it back to Romero. Romero into Kane, who's dropped deep, and then look at Kulusevski now making his run. I can't click on his name, unfortunately, because we're not in Football Manager, and makes his run, gets in between, and then boom, goal. So this is called defensive work in the mid block. So this is how we are operating in our mid block. So Leeds have the ball here in the deep area. Rocker Meslier gets the ball, and here's Koch. We're not pressing high. We're not engaging high. We're not going all out. We're not even really breaking our shape. We do have a ball winning midfielder here who's gone to close down Adams, but then he falls back into his position, and here you can see our back five and our two double pivots. Our shape is intact right now. Here's Christensen, plays it to Harrison. They're struggling. They don't really have any sort of passing option. It forces them to play a risky ball into the midfield, and then boom, we're on top of it. Kane, their Son, and now we've got the ball, and let us play our football. Davis in towards the channel, Son running those channels because he is our advanced forward. Again, against Leeds, this one's labelled early crosser. I'm guessing we put in a cross in early or early-ish. Here's Aït-Nouri trying to run out from the back. He runs into trouble. Emerson Royale now running at him. He runs wide, puts in that early cross, and there is Son with a goal. Now, the reason why I saved this, because he doesn't run towards the byline. He's on attack, and naturally an attacking wing-back will run towards the byline, but we've got hit early crosses, and that's exactly what Emerson Royale does there. He hits in the early cross. The defensive line and the shape is not necessarily set, and that is why we scored. Kane getting in between and then smash, one-time finish. What a goal. Kulusevski and Harry Kane swapping positions again, so it wasn't a one-off. It's a thing that we're seeing constantly, and Perisic also offering width is what this video is called. So Zaha gets the ball, he plays it to Mateta. Mateta's breaking through. We work hard, working hard, that high intensity sprint to try and win the ball back. Emerson Royale with the ball now on the right flank. looking for Kulu in that gap there. They clear it again and we win the ball. Again, Harry Kane there, they swap positions. Harry Kane is now that midfielder, sort of on top of the diamond, and then Kulusevski is now that centre forward. Højbjerg, Perisic offering that width, and on the right hand side you can see the right wing back offering the width as well. Perisic gets towards the byline, whips it in, Harry Kane heads the ball over the bar. Now we're looking at a long ball, but us winning the second ball, and the Kulu run off the deep line forward as well. So Kulusevski running off the deep line forward once again. Again, it's not a one-off. It's not a one-off. But here's Hugo Lloris about to kick it long. We lose the initial header, but we win the second ball. Basuma has Emerson Royale. Kulusevski running off Harry Kane again. He runs wide with the ball, gets tackled, but he's still in possession. Tackled again, still in possession. Drives in the box, and Harrison with a cute little header. I did play the big North London derby at home, and again, it's just some clips against Arsenal this time. It's just against one team, which it should help us. So this one is called the mid-block press, and the wide centre-back overlapping as well. So we're operating in the mid-block once again, forcing them out wide, win the ball out wide. Here's Emerson Royale, Eric Dyer on the ball. Plays it to Basuma. Emerson Royale is now going to progress with the ball, but to help him not be isolated, you can see one centre forward has drifted over. We've also got one of the pivots, but now look at that wide centre back looking to make that overlapping or underlapping run. He does underlap, the ball gets into the box, and we win a penalty. That set us up for the first goal. Harry Kane buried the penalty. Against Arsenal, here is us dropping into a mid-block, compact shape, and Son attacking the channels once again. So Perisic is driving, he loses the ball, Tomiyasu, good tackle there, and then look at us dropping. So you can see Perisic straight away, he drops into his mid-block rather than counter-pressing. He opts to go to the mid-block, and now we are very difficult to break down. Here's Saka driving towards us, Ødegaard with the ball, here's Jesus in the middle of the park, Gabriel Martinelli, and we win the ball. Basuma working really hard. Here's Romero, Eric Dyer, Emerson Royale plays it back to Hugo Lloris. Eric Dyer again, Basuma. We're actually moving the ball with a bit of pace now as well. Eric Dyer, that was a risky pass to Emerson Royale. Luckily, we still got the ball. Højbjerg, lovely play by Højbjerg. Son running into that channel. What a lovely goal. So this is the last clip that I'm going to show with Arsenal, and then I'm going to show you one more clip of us beating Bayern Munich. Actually, we smashed them 3-0 at home, but I'm just going to show you one clip from that game, because now what you will notice that a lot of these clips are fairly the same. We're operating in the same way. The team are doing exactly what I want them to do. So here is the last clip against Arsenal. Saliba's on the ball. It's a defensive transition to goal. Son, again, attacking that channel. Very dangerous against the bigger sides. Here's Saliba. Gabriel plays it out wide to Kieran Tierney. Tierney looks again for Martinelli, but Emerson Royale wins the ball. Here's Basuma, Kulusevski. Look at the link up, the quick play in the midfield and progressing into that middle third, and now approaching the final third. Here's Perisic. Davies kicks it over the top to Son, who is attacking that channel. He pulls it back, and then Son getting inside the box and burying in the goal. So now this is us, the final clip against Bayern Munich. After this, we're going to go into Football Manager and have a look at the tactic. But this is the final clip, and this is our setup during the AI's goal kick. You can see the two strikers there cutting off the central passing lanes. We've got the attacking midfielder as well. They can't really play the ball in the central areas. If they do, trouble. If they play it out wide, that is actually where we're forcing them, and then we can highly intense our press, make our press more intense to try and win the ball back. So here's Neuer. He plays it to Upamecano out wide. Now he's coming inside because he's got little passing options, and then they lose the ball. Højbjerg, here's Son now. Kane, Kulusevski making that run, and it's a bit fortunate. It's an own goal, but we worked really hard for that goal, and it was very good play from Tottenham Hotspur. But now what we are going to do is go into Football Manager, have a look at the tactic, and then lastly we're going to wrap this video off by playing a game. We are going to play the FA Cup final against Swansea. I mean, Swansea beat Liverpool in the semi-final. Crazy, I know. But now let's go into FM. So here is the base formation. Here is the 3-4-1-2. Now what we're going to do is go through the instructions and the player roles as well. So the mentality, we are going to start with the mentality, and actually we are using cautious mentality. It works really well, especially when operating in a mid-block. Now, if you want to try this in a league, I would say, like, let's say you're the Portuguese league and you're Sporting CP, you possibly might want to increase this, not to positive or attacking, but you may want to try it out unbalanced. I feel cautious worked really well with the tactic, but also also the fact that we're playing in the Premier League. Now, the passing directness is on shorter, but the tempo is on higher. To operate with a higher tempo, you saw with the clips how the link-up play is fantastic sometimes. Short, quick passes once you win the ball, and you can unlock the opposition. We can also play out from the back, but that's purely down to you. And lastly, hit early crosses, which is key for our chance creation. Now, the passing directness, actually, I could say you can leave it on standard. Now, against what team was it? Manchester United. I was playing. We went 1-0 up in the first half, but we were awful in possession. I felt that we just needed better. We need to retain the possession better, basically. So actually, I would say start on standard and then watch the game. If your ball retention is bad, then just drop it down to shorter. Now, in transition, when possession has been lost, counter press. When we lose the ball, we're going to try and work hard to try and win the ball back. And then when possession has been won, we're not going to counter press or hold our shape. I've left this blank. The goalkeeper in possession, I've left it again blank because I want him to have the option to either throw it out to the wing backs, he can play it short to the centre backs where we're going to have that numerical advantage, or he can kick the ball long, and hopefully if we don't win the first ball, we will win the second ball. And the way we can win the second ball is by counter pressing. And then lastly, we are going to be operating in our mid block, but we do have a few instructions to be using. So we are going to have not a much higher, a higher defensive line. This makes us compact, have little space in between the lines. The trigger press, we are going to break our shape a little bit. We're not going to go ham and just completely break our shape. We still want to have our 3-4-1-2 shape, or at least the 5. I say at least. We want the 5-2-1-2 shape, or at least have the 3-4-1-2 shape. So then we're going to have the more often trigger press, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in, trap on the outside, and stop crosses. Stop crosses helps us defend more narrow. Trap on the outside, again, it helps have that narrow shape, but more in the attacking area. Just guide the player out in those wider areas. And when we do get the ball in the wider areas, actually, I want us to get stuck in to try and win the ball. And that there is the team instructions. Now, for the player roles, in goal, we're going to have the sweeper keeper or a ball playing keeper. I really want them to add this role into Football Manager, a ball playing goalkeeper. Now, at the back three, I want a wide centre back. He can be on defend on the left hand side. In the middle, we're going to use a ball playing defender on cover. And then lastly, the right side of centre back is going to be the wing back on attack. So both both wide centre backs are going to be operating in that half space. And then, like I said in the analysis, we want the right sided one to be more aggressive, to be making those aggressive underlapping or overlapping runs. Then the right sided wing back is going to be a wing back on attack, driving at his man because he's essentially still a winger. And then the left sided one, like I said, a bit more attacking responsibility and a little less defensive responsibility, so he's going to be a complete wing back on attack. Now, to help with our ball progression, to help carry the ball, we're actually going to use a ball winning midfielder. Now, I was using a Segundo Volante, but I noticed sometimes when a complete wing back attack, we needed cover, and the ball winning midfielder actually done really well in covering because he leaves his position to then win the ball back in this wider area on the left hand side. So we do have a ball winning midfielder on support, and then we also have a deep line playmaker on support as well. Now, he's going to be responsible just recycling the possession. So actually, you can ask him to play shorter passes. He's just going to be recycling possession, but also switching flanks as well, switching the ball. We've got a complete wing back here on the left hand side holding his whip, switch the ball. The wide wing back, or the wing back who's wide on the right hand side, again, switch the ball out to him. Attacking midfield, we do have an attacking midfielder on attack. He's going to make his runs off the deep line forward, and that is essentially it there. That's the setup there. I didn't change these two roles. We are using the advanced forward for Son. The deep line forward was Kane, and then the attacking midfielder was Kulusevski. This front three, very lethal. Now it's time for the player instructions. Now, to help me with that, we're just going to use a completed version, the RDF Perfect 352 or the 3412. We might have to rename that actually. I've just renamed it the 3412 just so we don't get confused in later versions, in case I do make a 352 tactic as well. So this here is the completed version. Now we're just going to look at the player instructions. In goal, nothing. The wide centre back on the left, mark tighter. The ball playing defender in the middle, nothing. And the wide centre back on the right, mark tighter. Both wing backs, the one on the left actually, he's got dribble more and mark tighter. The one on the right has dribble more, mark tighter, but also stay wider because I need both wing backs to be holding their width. In midfield, the ball winner midfielder is going to be dribble dribbling more, progressing with the ball, but also shooting less often, and the deep line playmaker tackle harder, and we did add shorter passing as well. The attacking midfielder, Kulusevski, has no instructions. Harry Kane, similar, and so too Son. The front three, no instructions. They're just doing their thing. They're just playing out their role. And that there wraps up the perfect 3-4-1-2 tactic. I hope this has helped you guys create your own tactic. Hopefully, even if it's not a 3-4-1-2, just take some ideas from it. Or if you want to download it, the download link will be in the description below. But what we are going to do now, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you are subscribed. If you haven't liked this video, make sure you like this video, and also in the comment section leave a comment. I definitely left that bit way too late in the video, but now what we are going to do is play this FA Cup final against Swansea, who actually just knocked out Liverpool. They literally just knocked out Liverpool. So we are going to play this game against Swansea, and hopefully we beat them and beat them well. So let's get stuck in. Just before we get stuck into the match as well, one thing that I love about this tactic, look at the average rating. It's lovely. Not all the time that your team does well, you get a good average rating, which is weird for me. It's always weird understanding the average rating on this game. Team took all wrapped up. Well, we're going to pump our fist actually with these defenders, midfielders, and attackers unit. And then we are going to get stuck into our game. Let's go. I mean, I support Arsenal, so yeah, just enjoy the match, people. Enjoy the match. So what I'm also going to do is watch this on extended highlights, just so we can see more of the tactic play out. Majority of my videos, or all my videos, I just use key highlights towards the end of the video, but today we really want to concentrate on what's happening. So here we have a throw-in. Perisic to Højbjerg. We whip it in, and what a save by Bender. What a save. So here is Bender from Swansea playing out from the back now. I've paused it just to keep an eye on our defensive shape. Do Swansea have an extra man anywhere? Well, obviously they have an extra man here, but I don't think they can play to anyone in midfield. They might struggle to play out here. And yes, they do. Well done, Emerson Royal. Here's Kulusevski. Heung-min Son. He looked offside there, but he's played it to Perisic. Son gets in there. Looking to put the ball into the box. Perisic puts the ball in the box, and what a save again by Bender. Looking for Eric Dyer, but they get the ball out. Oh, that's good work. And tracking back by Kulusevski there. Here's Davies. Plays it to Perisic. Basuma, Davies, Romero now. A little patient from Tottenham Hotspur. Hugo Lloris plays it to Eric Dyer. Drive forward, boy. Yes, he does. He drives forward. What a pass. He looks offside, Kulusevski. Yeah, I thought so. That was very, very good play by Eric Dyer. Exactly what we want. So just looking at some stats before we get into half time, and you can see that well, they had no passes in attack, Swansea. But for us, you can see that we were connecting with our passes really well, especially in defense, but we're not a heavy possession based side. So now it might be a good time, actually, a good time to remove the shorter passing. Oh, Son's through. Oh! Oh, I've just missed a I literally just missed a goal because Swansea were building up from the back, but it was straight from kickoff, so I didn't think it was a highlight. We literally just missed a goal. So here's Swansea building up, and you can see here, look at Tottenham, very working hard in their mid-block. We're working hard in our mid-block, not overly pressing, not forcing anything, but there's Kane winning the ball back. Son is now free on goal, and then we smashed the ball in. I can't believe we missed that. It was literally straight from kickoff as well. Very nice from Son. That's number 20 in the season for him. It's another highlight from kickoff. It's Swansea now with the ball. Campango, Darling, Fulton plays it to Matt Grimes. Darling again. So they're just playing, but they're struggling to find any sort of progressive pass. It's Darling. Look, we've blocked off all their passing, and now they can find Fulton possibly and play out wide to Manning if they did it quick enough, but they didn't. It's Norton. Still manages to get the ball to Manning. They're struggling here, Swansea. Swansea are really, really struggling. Oh, we've done the same thing again. It's Kane. No way. We've literally just scored the exact same goal twice in a row. Both from kickoff as well. From halftime, I mean, Swansea really do not know what to do when playing out from the back. They have no options. They have no options to progress with the ball. and it makes them lose the ball. That's hilarious. It's 2-0 to Tottenham Hotspur in the FA Cup final. Well done. That is very good defending. I'm laughing, but I'm very impressed by the defending there. The patience as well. Nobody, oh my days. Most of our highlights are from Swansea trying to play out. They've gone direct finally. Here's Højbjerg though. Harry Kane. Son, it's almost free. What a save. Højbjerg looking for Kane. It might be offside. I was gonna say, what a pass. There was no build up there. It's a goal. Okay, it doesn't even show us the highlight. What the hell? That was so weird. It didn't even show us the highlight. So let's actually go back to see what's happened again. It's because this one came from a corner, but they've tried to. I mean, the game just didn't show us a lot of things here. So here's Basuma with the ball. Plays it to Højbjerg. Dyer. I mean, he didn't even show us Dyer hitting or smashing the post. But here's Son. Son plays it to Perisic. This is the pass here, though, ain't it? Højbjerg looking for Kane. Here's Davies now. Perisic. Højbjerg looking for Kane. Oh, he's literally on the edge there. And it's a goal. 3-0 Tottenham Hotspur. This second half has been absolute awful. Oh, my God. Now it's never ending, these highlights. Romero is 4. It's never ending now. That's Romero's 3rd goal of the season. Not that many. Not that impressive, to be fair. We do have a set piece routine, but we just don't score that many, actually, compared to in the last game. What was my last tactic test? I can't remember, but we scored about 14, I think, from set pieces. Well, just corners alone, actually. So let's look at the set piece goals. I know we haven't scored that many. Look, goals from corners. Liverpool, 17. Tottenham Hotspur, 4. Liverpool have scored 17 goals from corners. That's insane. And that's not even human. That's AI as well. That's insane. Swansea haven't had a shot yet. I want this to stay at 0, but I've got a feeling if I make a sub, let's make a sub. Harry Kane off for a Richarlison. We're going to swap Kane and Richarlison. I don't know. Nah, we'll leave it. Basuma off for Bentancur as well. A player that I like in real life, actually. See, look, I told you, make us say sub and they're going to get a shot. God damn it. Here's Davies. Højbjerg now. Plays it to Kulusevski. Lovely football stuff now. Eric Dyer offside. No, he's not. It's good. Oh my Jesus, Jesus. Here's Højbjerg with a free kick on the edge of the box. Oh, what's up? Why am I celebrating? It's Tottenham for Sorry, people. Bad language slipped out. You won't hear it in the edit, obviously. Bad language slipped out. Why is there no highlights again? Oh, because they're off. That makes sense. But look at this free kick. Holy smoky Joe. My God. This is a beating in the second half and just minor tweaks. It's literally minor tweaks. So in the first half, it was 0-0. Hardly any sort of attacking play. And that's because we were using short passing. But then in the second half, I kind of increased the passing. So you can see the defensive, I think it was like 97 or 98% in the first half. Even the passes in midfield was over 90%. And now we increased the passing and directness. That numbers have dropped, but you can see now we've scored 5 goals because now we're looking to progress with the ball more. And it could be down to the fact that Swansea are using a 3 at the back formation as well, likely being a bit more cautious. So they're trying to play it hard to break down. I'm guessing the short passing just didn't help in this match here. Hugo Lloris comes out and claims, and that there should wrap up this cup final, the FA Cup final. Tottenham Hotspur are now double winners. We've won 2 trophies. I'm only celebrating because it's a miracle as we're Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not celebrating that Tottenham Hotspur won it. Come on, you Arsenal. So Tottenham are about to collect their trophy now, their FA Cup trophy. And this unfortunately wraps up the video. If you've enjoyed this video, if you find it super helpful, please share it as well. Sharing will help. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment. All of that stuff helps this channel grow. Now let's send that to the Discord. We'll put that in there, and there we go. Tottenham Hotspur 5, Swansea 0, FA Cup final. That wraps up today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. Goodbye. Boop.